Okay, so we're going to do a little brisket work today. I'm going to show you how to make some chopped brisket, and before we do that, I want to show you, this is my favorite, well, right now my favorite keychain knife, and I want to show you what this is going to look like as we start into this brisket. So let's get into this.
Please hold.
It's my pleasure to present Jimislash.
Okay, so you're walking down the street, and then some guy's like, you know, Santa Claus. Oh, wait. Let's push this over here. Let's get this side so we don't mess up the other side too much. Oh, and plus you can see the cuts a little bit better through here. All right. He's like, Santa Claus isn't real, and you're like, take it back. Now look at that. This is all I did. I just barely flicked out this jab. Now watch my finger disappear. Look at that hole. Holy heck. You see that hole? Look at that. That's not the last Furby. I felt that hit all the way down. Look at that. This is effortless. Just quick. Oh man. Just like, just right in there. Just right in. Oh man, all the way through. Just effortless. Pull that out of your neck. Pull it out of your keychain. This is seriously how I walk. I have my little sheath here, my keys on here. You know, I'm getting old. You know, people might want to try me. So I keep my keys, and I keep my keys in my hand like this. And this is, of course, it's a last defense thing. You don't want to start a fight. You don't want to poke some dude for no reason. But if you had to, this would change some minds really quick. I mean, and all of a sudden this guy's got 5 major reasons to take a trip to the emergency room. So if you're looking for something just to feel a little more confident, maybe walk in the parking garage, in the park, whatever, this is not a bad little jobber. And as is our custom, we're going to go a little bit bigger. Let me wash this hand off a little bit. And go a little bit bigger here. What's bigger than that? Well, let me tell you. Ooh, check that bad boy out. The Cold Steel Raja 2. Oh, man. Give me back my son. Oh, that is just effortless destruction. Seriously. 6 inches of lost 10A, just going right into the meat, like so. Ow, I hit my knuckles. Oh, all right, here we go. Oh man, look at that. This curvature on this blade just makes it so easy just to get in there and do some damage. And it's just, and the way this knife back here is, you're really getting into like that whipping action. So you got a lot of, this is probably, oh man, out of all the XLs, it's hard to vote against this one. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Do you want this one in your hand? Do you want that Talwar XL? Which one do you want of the monster cold steel knives here? Oh man. All right, now we're done. Let's get this out again. All right, we're done. We're done playing now. Now I'm going to show you how to do this brisket real quick. This is the instructional part of the video. That was kind of instructional though. So if you're straight up making some chopped brisket, you know you're going to feed a bunch of people, and you want to use every ounce of this brisket, and you want to make it the easiest way for you guys to do it. You're just going to cut this up into chunks. It don't have to be huge chunks. I'd say chunks about this big are pretty big, pretty good. Now I discovered this from one of my videos. I discovered about making brisket like this. Let me get my pan ready here. Still my meat in my pan. And I chopped up, I think it was right before, was it 2018? Anyway, so 2000, yeah, before I went to Blade Show for the first time. So I discovered, because I had mangled this brisket, and so I just kind of threw it into the smoker with just like this, just in big chunks. It was already in chunks because I had mangled it. And so this really makes a super quick, not super quick brisket smoke, but a quicker brisket smoke than you're going to do like if you made a full brisket and we're really, really worried about slicing it and getting those perfect slices. This is not a perfect sliced brisket. This is just, we're going to make tacos, we're going to make sandwiches, and we're just looking for some super flavor on this meat. And this is going to be super easy to get the flavor out of. It's also less time for you to watch. It's more forgiving, of course, than just sitting there trying to make a regular kind of like competition brisket or Texas style brisket that you see on YouTube. This really makes it simpler and just as effective as far as what you're eating. You won't find better chopped brisket method or flavor anywhere. Because what you're doing here is you're going to create this situation where you have all kinds of area for the flavor and for the rub to be on. So instead of just being on the outside of the brisket, it's going to be on every piece, every side of these cubes here. Now, brisket purists, look away. I know this is not what you're supposed to be doing, but it works tremendously. Trust me. So I got a bunch of people to feed tomorrow. So I'll be making a couple of these bad boys. All right, so we put our Raja over here. And what we need to do is get our mustard out and go to town with the spices on this. So I'm gonna bring this down here like so, and we'll do the rest of this. All right, so you're just gonna start really just caking this mustard on this whole thing, just all over the place. You can't hardly get enough mustard. This is gonna be your brisket rub glue that holds all your brisket on there while this stuff is cooking and sweating and getting all flavorful in your smoker here. All right, there you go. Get some more over here. There you go. Get all that going. All right. All right. Let's get some more. Let's just get some more because we're going to be doing a lot of rub. Okay, so that should be enough. Now, what you're going to do, wash my hands here real quick, is you're going to just take your rub, and the old rub will do this kind of a secret rub I've made up, but it's not that. It's just whatever tickles your fancy. And you just kind of start dumping this stuff in here. Just dumping it here. What you're going to do is you're going to rub that into the mustard. I'll show you like so. Just start getting all that rub all over the place. Can't hardly get enough rub. I have to keep one hand clean, I guess. Usually I have a helper. All the helpers are asleep. Whoop, went a little crazy there. That's okay. We're going to use all this rub. So you get all this in here. You want it all around. You want that. Every angle of this thing, you want to get your rub on. So you have lots of good flavor there. You get enough mustard on there. All right. We can all share the rub. Get all that rub in there. Get some more in here. And this will go a long way. You know, let's say this will end up being, let's say it ends up being 10 pounds of meat. You know, that's a good, what is that? 25 sandwiches, 25 good sized sandwiches for barbecue sandwiches, can't hardly beat that. Get all that rub there. Just get it all over the place. It's not scientific, especially the way we're making this. There's no science here. All right. And what we're going to do after this is we're going to put these directly on top of the grill. Right on the grates there, so you don't have to worry about it. Let's get some more mustard in here. All right, let me see if I can flip that over. Now, there's some big arguments going on in all the barbecue world. Mustard, no mustard. Well, I like mustard. I made a video the other day about making a brisket without mustard. I was trying it. I'm not a huge fan of the no mustard way. It's not good enough at figuring out how to keep that rub on there well. The mustard will not be a factor at all. It's just gonna evaporate the flavor. Oh, there's a lot of rub there. That's okay though, because you're thinking, oh man, you're gonna over season it. It's not gonna be over seasoned. All this is gonna chop together, and it's all going to be mixed in with all the meat in here that doesn't have any seasoning, and it's just gonna be perfect. Trust me. Trust me, this is what I do all the time. This is the one thing I know how to do really, really good. All right. Let's see here. Just a little more seasoning on these. You don't want to under season. You're going to be under seasoning more than you're going to be over seasoning on this method. All right. Wash my hands. All right, now we're ready to take this to the smoker. Okay, so you're gonna stick this on here, spread that around a little bit. You're gonna stick this on here at 295, get that smoke going, and this should be ready like 8-9 hours. If you have a pellet smoker, just leave it on there, let it smoke, and go to town, and then chop it up later. Let's get some good smoke already. You have to watch it a little bit if you have like a charcoal smoker. Let me close this up so we don't lose all the good smoke. So if you have a charcoal smoker, what you're gonna do, cook it as high as you can, so like the 300s, 320 range, and that, you know, fill your charcoal pit up, see if you can get 4 hours out of it. This totally works. Put it in for 4 hours, take the meat off, put it in a pan, and then you're going to stick it in the oven at 320 and just let it finish for another 3 or 4 hours. You'll be able to see it's kind of, it'll just be tear apart, juicy and delicious. And then, so it'll be like 8 hours altogether. 3 or 4 hours on the charcoal smoker, another 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours in your oven at 320. If you have a pellet smoker, like I said, you're in luck. Just keep going at it. Let it cook there, you know, 8 or 9 hours. We'll see here in a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Okay, now I'm going to take all this meat off and we're going to wrap it up and go stick it in the oven. So take all these pieces off. I think I'm going to try this one before we do it though. We'll check you out in the kitchen here in a second. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to just cover this in tin foil and stick it in the oven for another 4 hours or so. But not before we taste it. Just a little bit of a taste. This little bar right here, yeah. We use this thing, multi-use knife. It's a little tough, so it's not going to be exactly what you're. I just want to get the flavor idea of it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right on point there. That's good stuff. Alright, so now, cover this up with tin foil, and then the next thing we'll do is take it out and do a little chopping on it. There we go. You're going to stick it in the oven. I just stick it in there for 320. It gets it nice and broken down, all those fibers get broken down. And you get a really, really good, tender, juicy hunks of meat, and it's really easy to chop into and it stays really tender. Alright, next time we see this, it's going to be done. Alright, so we pulled this out of the oven, and about 4 hours later, let's see what we got going on here. Haven't seen this yet. Hopefully it's delicious. Oh, God. Alright, so now, there you go. There is your amazing beef brisket pieces here. So then we're going to start chopping it up. And monster cleaver here. So chop this up, and then we will do one more thing to it. You don't have to do one more thing to it. This could be all you do, and you'll still have delicious brisket. But we're going to do one more thing to it. So let's just get into this. Chop this up. Look at this cleaver, just goes right through that. So yeah, let's get in there. Now you see a lot of fat and stuff, so don't worry about that. That's just going to be part of it. And what you can do, go through all this fat, get it all blended, chopped up, and I had to let the dog out. He wanted some brisket too. Alright, make sure it gets all mixed up here. Put this back in. Put back in with all the juices. Keep it moist. Don't worry about all that. This is going to be delicious. Alright, and just keep going here. This is probably the most tedious part of this, is trying to get all this chopped up. After that, if you have somebody in your house that's a chopper, use their abilities, make them work for you. Need a bigger cutting board here. This cleaver is now I would like for cold steel to make a little bit like a cleaver that's kind of like this big. This one gets kind of tired on your hands if you're doing intricate cleaving like this. But it makes short work of it if you have the muscles to pull it off. Which for right now I do. But I think we're a third of the way through this yet, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, go away. Go away, dog. Give you a little piece there. Put this up here. Need a little more counter space, that'd be nice. Alright. Alright, there we go. Drawer. Got a lot of good crust on this. Just a little bit tough there, but it's not tough. It just kind of gives you that crunch you're gonna want with your brisket when you're making sandwiches or tacos. There we go. Use both hands if you need to. swing this bad boy like Colt. I can't do that. No, not enough handle space. Alright, just up. Sprinkle that in. Right. Give that piece to the dog. Keep going there. Keep that brisket chopped in here. See all the good smoky flavors here. Oh, one more thing we're going to do is going to make this out of sight brisket here. Alright, so now what we'll do we'll flatten all this out, make sure we get it kind of nice and even here. Alright, there we go. Okay. And you get your seasoning and just kind of lightly re-season the top of it. Just kind of lightly re-season the top of it. Now you don't have to take this step. Just kind of like that extra step. The extra step to create more flavor crystals for the folks that are going to eat your stuff. You don't want to cake this on. Just a light seasoning of it. Then you're gonna stick it back in the oven, 350 for an hour. And all this is just gonna get nice and crunchy at the top here and be super delicious. I'll show you what that looks like here in an hour. And you're gonna want to, I forgot to tell you, leave it uncovered. That's what you want, because you want it to get crisped up. All right, so there you have it. Look at this nice, this is all crust. This is all just like nice and crunchy crust. What you do, let me get my spoon here. Just gonna blend that in. Look at that. All that. Oh, this is like, oh, chopped brisket casserole or something. I don't know, this is freaking amazing. Oh, I'm gonna do something. Oh, just for you. Just for you. Just so you know that I care. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh man. You can't even understand how delicious that is. Alright, there you go. I'm telling you, just about perfect chopped brisket as you're ever going to eat. That's how you do it. Did it with my cold steel cleaver, a little help from the Raja. You were there. Even my little pokey. My little pokey did a good job there. Alright, thanks for watching. Go out and make yourself a brisket.